many respects. So thank you all very much for being here. We appreciate it. For generations, the heavy work of precision and custom components has strengthened the spine of America. Your products have gone into the Hoover Dam and atomic energy plants, nuclear submarines, and they currently are doing a lot of work. I'm here today to deliver a simple message. When I'm back in the White House, America's future will be built right here in Pennsylvania. American workers become here. The only country will be building with Pennsylvania is always a big factor. And we've had great successes, politically and otherwise in Pennsylvania. And we expect to have it again. We're doing very well here. Thank you very much. With your vote, we will unleash explosive economic growth and vast new prosperity for all of our citizens. We will put more money into your pockets and create millions and millions of new jobs to do it like nobody else has ever been able to do it. Our plan will massively cut taxes, unlock American energy, slash regulations, big fat company, crack down on trade cheaters and stop outsourcing, rebuild our industrial base and bring back those beautiful words, made in the USA. We were doing that 4 years ago and starting to do really well, and then we had to stop for an unknown reason. Together we will reclaim our nation's destiny as the #1 manufacturing superpower in the world. We will do it, and China won't give it to us. Nobody will. We have it going at a level that nobody's seen before, and we're going to have it going again, even better. And this firm and this people standing behind me and in front of me will be a big factor. Every policy, come on now, this radical liberal playbook says jobs and wealth to other countries. Jobs go to other countries, and the wealth goes to other countries. Every policy in the Trump agenda is designed to bring the jobs and wealth back home to America, where it belongs and where it's going to stay. Kamala puts America last. I put America first. Some facts are interesting. The year before I took office, the United States lost over 10,000 manufacturing jobs. Everybody said you'd never bring it back. But under my leadership, we created more than 500,000 manufacturing jobs in less than 3 years. After decades of wage stagnation and income surge, we had a surge that nobody's ever seen before, but it surged for everybody during the Trump administration. Every group, everybody, men, women, we had every household was at a level that they've never really experienced before. The typical American household saw their incomes grow by more than $4,200 per year. Everyone was better off when you had a Chinese day, President Donald J. Trump. I kept every single promise I made to the workers of Pennsylvania, to every place within our country. On day one, I withdrew from the unfair job killing Trans-Pacific Partnership, but if I didn't do that, you wouldn't be open right now and you wouldn't have a job. It was a big thing. It was just to prove by another president who would have destroyed our manufacturing in this country still further. I imposed historic tariffs on foreign aluminum and foreign steel and numerous other things that were unfair to our country, unfair to our workers. I ended the total disaster known as NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made by this country, and replaced it with the brand new USMCA deals, Mexico and Canada. The best trade deal ever made by our country. Although I will tell you that I think the deal with China was probably even better. About $50 billion worth of our products. We have to cover that. We can talk about that anymore. The $50 million they had to buy, and they were buying it. And I stood up to China like never before, bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars for no other president. They got literally 10 cents. from China. I brought in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. Never happened before. Nobody else literally got 10 cents. We passed the largest tax cuts in history, the largest regulation cuts in history, and built the greatest economy in the history of the world. We were at a level that nobody had ever seen before. And now we're going to do it again, but we're going to do it even bigger, better, stronger, and smarter. When I left office, I handed Kamala and crooked Joe Biden a surging economy with no inflation. You had no inflation, yet everything was good. Great wages, no inflation. Now we have inflation at levels that I don't believe anyone's ever seen before. The 30-year mortgage rate was 2.6%, but it was actually closer to 1.9. If you look at it the way that those people look at it, and gasoline had reached, and it was basically at levels of $1.87 a gallon, but we had months and moments where it was even less than that. Wouldn't that be nice? $1.87. Our economic future never looked brighter when Kamala and Biden came in. They quickly blew it all up and destroyed 350,000 Americans joined the unemployment rolls last month. You know that? Keep hearing about their economy was terrible. And the inflation is eating everybody alive, but it's been doing that for 3 years. No inflation, or almost no inflation. It kept going during the early part of this administration, this current administration, but it ended very quickly, and then it went to levels, and so quickly, it went so fast, and it was a shame. It was all blown up and destroyed, and jobs were lost, a lot of jobs were lost. Our country is doing really badly after that, and nobody wants to talk about it. The media is the one talking about it, because the Democrats, they really protect themselves to pretty much do. Someday the media is going to become real key instead of fake media, and you will see a big difference too. Real incomes are down $2,000 a year since she took office. Kamala cast the tie-breaking votes that gave us the worst inflation in American history, costing a typical family $28,000. And under Kamala, we have fallen into manufacturing recession with 13,000 manufacturing jobs lost in the United States since just the start of this year. I don't know what that's what's happening. And it'll happen here, it'll happen to this land, happen everywhere if she gets in. If Kamala gets in, the United States will rapidly become a de-industrialized third world nation, like so many others that we've gotten. She's running on socialist price controls, banning gas-powered cars and trucks, and private health insurance policies are gone. She wants to defund the police, abolish cash. She wants to abolish immediate cash. She wants to abolish ICE, get rid of the incredible brave piece of ICE who take MS-13 gang members, probably the worst gang anywhere in the world. Horrible situation. They take them out, and they take them out bravely, strong. They're fierce, and they love our country. She wants to give free health care for billions of illegal aliens and give them all citizenship into the United States immediately. And she then wants to sign them up for Medicare and Social Security. And she wants them to vote illegally if possible. Anybody ever think about it? And they're signing people up as we speak. They're signing them up as we speak. They don't care about the laws. Very simply, Kamala Harris is an economy wrecker and a country destroyer. Our country will be destroyed if she gets in. Her radical liberal agenda ruined San Francisco. It ruined California when she was the Attorney General. It crushed our middle class, demolished our border, set the world on fire. Now she wants to be promoted to the job killer in chief, but much more than job killer. Everything else is going to go bad. She set the standard in California. I think of this. If you steal $950 or less, they're going to leave you alone. They can't be bothered. So you see criminals going into stores with little computer, they get out everything that is stored. They want to stay under $950, but they don't get prosecuted for about that. The only one that gets prosecuted is somebody that talk about the unfair election. They get prosecuted. But when you steal and rob and kill, and so many other things, when you sell drugs and destroy people's lives, nothing happens to you under command. But we will not let this happen. We're not going to let it happen to our country. 78 days from now, Pennsylvania is going to tell her that we've had enough, that we can't take it anymore. And come on, you're fired, you know. You're fired. While Biden and Harris have been impoverishing our country, they have been getting rich, very rich at your expense. Now, it just came out, this was reported today by a great young reporter, Brooke Sigmund at Fox, according to a 292-page report from the House Oversight, Judiciary, and Ways and Means Committees in Congress. Just got out a little while ago, just before I got here, I said, and I'm going to talk about it just briefly. It's so sad because he's going to be making a speech for and they don't call him Crooked Joe for no reason. They said President Biden engaged in impeachable conduct and said he abused his office and defrauded the United States of America to enrich its debt. Republicans revealed that since 2014, the Biden family and its associates received more than $27 billion from foreign individuals and entities. They also found that while Biden was serving as vice president, the Biden family got more than $8 million in loans from Democrat benefactors. And they said that those loans have never been repaid. Those are the best kind of loans. This report says in part that Vice President Biden actively participated in this conspiracy by, among other things, attending dinners with his family, foreign business partners, and speaking to them by phone, often being placed on speakerphone by Hunter Biden. Republicans are calling out a 2014 dinner that Hunter Biden and his family attended with the Russian oligarch, and they said that after that dinner, that oligarch wired $3.5 million to Hunter Biden for a very quick wiring, shooting one of their hearts for Biden. Several witnesses testified that Hunter Biden had both his father and business dealings with Romanian, Chinese, Kazakhstani, Ukrainian companies, in addition to other companies and people, resulting in millions and millions of dollars flowing into the Biden family. As everybody knows, $3.5 billion was sent from the mayor of Moscow. Mayor of Moscow's wife. Remember, I brought that up in the debate I had. I said, why did this happen? What? The anchor wouldn't let me ask that question. They thought it was inappropriate, but then it'd go up. $3.5 billion was sent by the mayor of Moscow's wife to the family. They were also calling out Biden for his handling of the classified documents. They said during his tenure as vice president, Joe Biden removed highly sensitive classified documents from the White House despite having no authority to do so. And remember, Comrade Kamala, she knew everything. The senators knew what was going on. By the way, I had my own class to my documents. I was talking to about it. It was a case brought by Joe Biden and Kamala. She was involved. They did that in order to interfere with the election. And there still goes on different cases, but that was according to most, the big one. And we were totally exonerated. The case was won a month ago. Very little coverage of the case being won. It's a lot of the media didn't even talk about it. There's no way someone could have stolen that much money without Democrat senators knowing what was going on. You wined and dined them at Joe's houses, and they saw his boats, they saw the way he lived, they saw his beautiful mansions. I would have made billions of dollars in this job if I wanted to play that game the way they played it, but instead I took the job very seriously and very importantly, and you can see from the recently announced financial reports, I don't need the money. And I'm proud to announce that Billy got being president almost increased the balance. And I knew that would happen. Maybe not quite as much as that, but I'm satisfied with that because we want to make America great again. That's much more important. We have to make it right. Well, I couldn't play it the other way. I could have made so much. I see some of my friends out there. I could have made so much money. No, I didn't want to do that. This is too important. This is too big a thing. We're to save our country because our country is really in big trouble. We're a nation in decline. We're going down the drain. The drain is the swamp that you've heard so much about. They get rich. In Washington, some of these politicians, what they're doing to our country is disgraceful. And he's one of the leaders of the back. You have others. The number one step we will take to launch a great American manufacturing renaissance will be to end Kamala Harris's war on American energy. It's a war. And you do know that inflation was caused by their cutback on energy. And then what they did is they, in a panic mode, shortly thereafter, when the numbers for gasoline, oil, electricity, and everything else that comes from energy and out of energy, when they started going through the roof, they immediately went back to the Trump plan. But what they didn't go back to is my plan would have been double, triple, and even quadrupled from the numbers I had 4 years ago. They didn't do that. They brought it back to it. Similar, because they were getting just absolutely destroyed by the numbers too slow. And you can bet that if we don't win, if she takes over, your energy numbers will be triple, it'll quadruple, and you won't be producing a drop of oil. They ended the largest oil reserve anywhere in the world, probably as large as Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has this massive amount of oil. It's called Anabar in Alaska. They ended it close to day one. They ended it. Ronald Reagan couldn't get it. No other president got it. I got it. And it's bigger than Russia, bigger than Saudi Arabia, most likely. They seem the thing biggest in the world. They've been after getting that rule for many, many decades. Ronald Reagan worked so hard to get it, he couldn't get it. I got it. And then the end, they were just set to start drilling. Everything was done. He came into office, he ended it. When day one, I will tell the frackers, energy workers of Pennsylvania to drill, baby, drill. And she's totally a non-fracker, you know that. Until a few months ago, she said, oh, just like one tips, we don't pay tax tips. All of a sudden, she comes out and she uses the same thing, exactly the same words that I used. Months later, and other things. So like trying to copy my policy, but it takes much more than copying policy. It was never going to reduce it anyway. The country's going to be in serious trouble. But she was a non-fracker, no fracking under any circumstance. She said that like 100 times, saying, I will not frack. Look at her debates. There will be no fracking, will be no. Then a few months ago, she said, oh, we'd love this fight. And now with the politicians, they go back to their original thought. There will be no fracking if she's elected in Pennsylvania or anywhere else. Energy that will go up 3, 4, 5 times. You'll be paying $10 a gallon of gasoline and a lot higher than that. Unleashing American energy will reduce prices, launch record-setting economic growth, create millions and millions of jobs that produce higher wages to the American worker. You can't be a manufacturing powerhouse unless you have low-cost energy. We will have low-cost energy. Electricity rates to a Chinese factory are more than 50% lower than the price of electricity for an American factory. We were working 4 years ago at really getting it wrong, and then we were hit with the COVID came. We focused on that. We did a great job. If we didn't do a great job of that, we would have been in a depression like 1929, which is where you're heading if she gets in. Heading for the depression of 1929, that time. Let's call the big league depression. Since Kamala took office, electricity prices in America are up much more than 30% nationwide, and here in Pennsylvania they're expected to increase by another 30%. They think it's going to be actually unsustainable to say she gets it. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable for the country. That's why I declare a top priority for my administration will be to cut the cost of energy in half within the first 12 months of tenure. I think we'll be able to do and I think we'll do that very quickly. That includes heating, air conditioning, electricity, and gasoline. Those will be less than half. When you look at the New England area, it makes up the highest energy anywhere in the world, because they can't put a pipeline in. They've been restricted from putting a pipeline in for a certain section of New York that is desperately wanting it. They need the jobs of that. And if they did that in New England, the prices would come down half just with the pipeline alone. They were getting their gasoline and their energy from a place called Russia. Ships would pull up on the East Coast, Russian ships. And that's what they're doing. We got it in problem, and they would make a big price. And to this day, they pay the highest price for that price. But we'll take care of that. We think energy costs, all of it, air conditioning, heating, all of it, including gasoline, will drop by more than 50% within the first 12 months. And it includes the factory. This will help us quickly defeat inflation and make America affordable again. By contrast, Kamala Harris wants to ban fracking. She supports a national carbon tax, which is a horrible tax that will destroy many businesses, that will have a huge impact on this business. But that will destroy the carbon tax. Nobody even knows what it is. Nobody knows how to calculate it. And she imposed a natural gas export ban. All catastrophic things for Pennsylvania. That means all the income coming in, for the most part, you'll have none of it. You'll lose 500,000 jobs, and you won't have the income coming out. That means Pennsylvania's going to have to pay. Your Commonwealth, the beautiful Commonwealth, is going to have to pay numbers that nobody ever thought even possible or worth the discussion. Kamala is also on a regulatory jihad to shut down power plants all across America. Now, Germany tried it just a couple of years ago, and they ended up getting rid of their political leaders very quickly. Now they're building probably 50 or 60 power plants currently, and they're looking to build a lot more. But they got rid of everything, and they wanted to go to wind and solar, lots of other things, oil making. It didn't work. They couldn't fire up the plants. The plants closed. They couldn't get the oil. And now they've gone to the other extreme. They've got back to fossil fuel. They hope clean fossil fuel, clean coal. They do have clean coal. They have coal that actually has to make their electricity. And if you didn't have fossil fuel, we'd have electricity because that's where it comes from originally. And you can have very clean, efficient natural gas. At least 50 existing power plants have closed since she took office. Kamala took office. They closed them all over the country. They're closing nuclear. They're closing coal. They're closing everything. We're not going to have. That's why in California you have blackouts all the time. Constant blackouts. And yet they want all electric. Let's start all electric. Even though we don't have enough electricity to give ourselves some coolness, some heat in the summers and the winters. I'm announcing today that when I return to the White House, I will end the anti-American energy crusade and terminate Kamala's so-called power plant rule. It's a disaster for our country. Our country will have no jobs by the time these communists and Marxists get rid of, I mean, when they destroy the country, probably can never come back either, just so you understand. Too much competition from other countries that are doing it right. We have a lot of competition out there. Not only China, we have a lot of other competition. Instead of shutting down power plants, we will open dozens and dozens more, and they'll happen fast. Kamala stands for energy disappearance and factory obliteration. She will obliterate factories like this. I stand for American energy independence and manufacturing dominance. We're going to be dominant in manufacturing. We're going to be dominant in energy too, not just getting it to take care of ourselves. We're going to be selling it all over the world. We're going to be reducing our debt. We're going to be lowering the taxes still further. We got to give you the largest tax cut in history. We're going to be lowering the taxes still further. Upon taking office, I will do rapid approvals for new energy infrastructure. We will embrace all forms of energy, including nuclear. Nuclear is the great energy. This plant is making some things that I just to see, and it's incredible what you've done when Gary and the family have done. The level of the complexity, the level of the detail, the power that we're talking about is incredible. To power our country into the future, including the electricity demands of AI and cryptocurrencies, which is a very big subject. It's coming up more and more. We have to stay at the top. We want to be right at the forefront. Otherwise, China and other countries will take it over. Because both of them, AI and crypto, we will make a historic commitment to bringing advanced, small, modular nuclear reactors online. Building these massive plants that cost $20 billion that don't even get built like we have recently, and through a couple of other states. I won't mention the states, but they had 2 plants that got so out of control with cost overruns, massive nuclear plants. So we can do with small reactors, small nuclear, we call it. French does that in advance very well with it. They do smaller, but they need more. They build the second one, the third one, the fourth one, they will come on together. With the help of companies like yours, these can be built ultra safe, ultra clean, and they're very low cost, but they are absolutely safe under Kamala's Green New Scam. Billions and billions of taxpayer dollars that make sent to subsidize solar panel factories, windmill factories, battery production, car production, all based in China. We're subsidizing massive amounts of product for solar, for wind. It's all made in China. Under the Trump administration, we will build America, buy America, and hire America. Kamala's economic objective awards outsources the functions of American workers by making it economically impossible to manufacture. What I'm promising today is a total pro-American overhaul of our tax, regulation, and trade systems to promote domestic production and punish those who ship jobs in factories overseas or to places like Mexico, where right now, the head of the United Auto Workers is they built some of the biggest car factories just started. Anywhere in the world, the person I know builds car factories, which all he does is build car factories. He said the biggest ones in the world are being rented in Mexico. They think they're going to bring those cars in and Mexico, bring them in here and sell up to property and destroy Detroit and the rest of our car business. They've already taken 30% before I got there. 30%. They did nothing against us when I was there. I told them, you want to build a car factory, you're going to have to be a 100% tariff to make the car in this country. They immediately said, well, I guess we're going to build a car factory. That's what happened. Now they're building the biggest in the world, but in Mexico. They think they're going to take our covenant. I do that here because I will be putting massive tariffs to the stars coming across the border. It won't make any economic sense. So I actually think they should stop building them unless they want to sell those cars to another country. Kamala wants no taxes on Chinese producers. Wants no taxes. What's that all about? While imposing the largest tax in the history of our country on factories in the United States. So he wants a no tax policy of China, but she wants to tax factories like this and other factors at levels that they've never seen before. Under her plan, manufacturers will pay even higher taxes in America than in communist China. By contrast, I will pass gigantic tax cuts for workers to keep their jobs here in the United States. They're going to stay here. We're going to keep there was a long time expression that China will take over the world's largest economy. They'll take it over in 2019. Well, in 2019, we were doing so well. 2018, 2017, that China never even came close. We were lapping them. They never came close. Even President Xi said, congratulations. They thought that would be a long time. This is 15, 20 years ago. They said, 2018, 2019, China will dominate. No, we were doing, it would never happen. In fact, I said, after we started really doing it, as long as we had smart presidents, they'll never guys just because they can't become citizens. We will have big tax cuts for families and small businesses, and we will have no tax on Social Security and no tax on So they haven't copied Social Security yet. Well, don't forget, he's the one that destroyed our seniors with inflation. Inflation has destroyed our seniors. So worst thing that could happen, the people that behaved the best, that did it the American way, that saved their money, they got destitute because their money went down, because they couldn't live, they were losing money. With me, they were putting money in the bank and making a lot of money, they were saving a lot of money. After I left, they were losing all of that money they saved. Kamala wants to spend $1.7 trillion in wasteful spending, causing more inflation. And she says it's a mistake to ask her how she's going to pay for it. Please, it's a mistake. She just said something that nobody has any idea what she said. But she said it's a mistake to ask how we're paying for it. Kamala Harris can't answer how she paid for any of her new radicalized liberal spending schemes that will bankrupt our country and do it quickly, destroy Social Security, destroy Medicaid. She has no clue how she paid for $25,000 to every first-time home buyer, including illegals, just like they were going to pay bills to college students. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Won't happen. They gave up that. The Supreme Court gave it up because it was unfair to all of those people. One of the reasons all of the people for years and years paid back their loans, and now we're going to give something free, but it didn't happen. It was just all, he knew it would have happened to Crooked Joe. He knew that it was not going to happen. No clue how she paid for free health care for illegals. She wants to give free health care to illegals. Now, you want to stop people from coming into our country. The first thing you do, and you would have to do this immediately, no health care. We can't do that. We can't afford it. It's constantly illegal. But they're doing just the opposite. Come to America, live the American dream. We'll give your children free schooling. We'll give you free health care. We'll give you pensions. We'll put you into Social Security. This is why people are pouring into our country. And it's a very dangerous to the caravans. It's a very dangerous trip. Thousands and thousands of people are dying from those caravans coming up to our country. And they're coming up because the promises are being made to them that just can't be kept. No clue how she paid for the $100 trillion, $100 trillion with a T, redo scam. It's a scam. Out of the $100 trillion, there's not $1 of it that would help our country. Not $1 would destroy our country. And no clue how she paid for the hundreds of millions of dollars in new foreign aid giveaways. We're giving away money at levels that nobody has ever seen before. No other country would do it. No other country would be so simple. They do it like we do it. That's why it's so important to vote for Trump to stop the reckless spending and the destruction of our country. We will not have a country done. I will stop the special interest giveaways, cut waste, and restore common sense to our government. The Republican Party is the Republican Party of common sense. It's what it is. Kamala will bury American workers in regulations. I will liberate our workers electricals with the largest regulatory price ever recorded. We've already done some of them, but she put them right back. They put them right back. Repealing every single job-killing regulation of the Biden-Harris administration. The electric vehicle mandate, which is absolutely so lazy, will be gone, and there will be no costly forced transition to all electric cars and trucks. You want a gasoline propelled car or a hybrid or an electric car, they're wonderful too, but not all. People need to go longer distances and want to pay less money. So they're fantastic. Electric is fantastic. Everything is great. You've got to be able to buy everything. We have a mandate. We don't have enough electricity for ourselves. And now they're talking about putting all the cars on everything. Well, doesn't work because cars don't go far. If you'd like to go from here to, let's say, Washington, to look after we fix the gap a lot, make it safe again, which will take approximately quickly. And after we fix that, if you want to drive like you don't want to stop 5 times, you want to be able to go there, and you want to be able to enjoy it, and you don't want to be pumped or shot or killed. Catholic, which has become very unsafe. It's horribly run, graffiti staying, and we're going to fix it very quickly. If you make it part of beautiful capital, and let them run off, we're going to make it totally safe. Police are going to do a great job. Simultaneously, we will modernize our trade policies. The United States has both been taken advantage of by other countries at levels that nobody has any idea. I would sit and look at these radios, many of which we renegotiated with Japan, South Korea, with Canada, next Germany. But I'd look at these deals before we did the renegotiation and say, oh, they can get us like this. They were either Turkey or really southern. Well, the problem with Turkey or last time, because I don't know this southern. But we had the worst trade deals. No countries ever had trade deals. We fixed it. Many of them made some of them extraordinary. We lose jobs and revenue, they gain everything. We lose jobs, we lose revenue. They destroy our country, they gain everything. And they wipe out our businesses, which is good for them because then they can supply us with whatever we will make. I stopped it 4 years ago, and I will stop it very quickly again. We'll be making the product ourselves. We will not let countries come in, take our jobs, and plunder our nation into poverty. The way they will sell their product in America without having to pay any substantial tariff is to build their factory in America and build their product in America using only American help. Kamala Harris says that a tariff is a tax on American consumers. She's wrong. It's a tax on a foreign producer. It's a tax on a foreign country. I believe that better than anybody because I took in hundreds of millions of dollars worth of tariffs from different states, on different countries. And out of all of that money, we had no inflation. We had no inflation. It also gives you power over that country. If they want to have wars with somebody, we can say, no, you have wars to Norwegian tariffs. Oh, sir, if you won't have a war over the world and with this, but we decided not to go after somebody. One thing about this, everybody said, oh, we might have wars. We had no wars. The first time in 78, we got no wars. Something like ice cream. 100% treated 100% of the arsenals. What they did is Afghanistan. We end up with nothing. We want tariffs. If somebody wants to come in and take our jobs, if somebody wants to come in and sell us their product that's made in their country, that's okay, but they've got to pay tariffs. They've got to pay a price for that. We're going to bring down your taxes at levels never seen before. We're going to pay off debt in our country. Because this country owes $35 trillion. But that rapidly didn't come down. And remember this, we're sitting on the largest amount of oil and gas. We have, I call it liquid gold. We have more liquid gold than Saudi Arabia. We have more liquid gold than Russia. But we don't use it. We go out and we buy from other countries at ridiculous prices. We buy now from Venezuela. We buy tar. It's not really, it's tar. And you know where we refine it? at a factory, only one factory in the world can do it because of the nature of it. It's tar. It's not good stuff. It's in Houston, Texas. So all of that, if you're an environmentalist, all of that's going right into the air in our country. We're bringing lots of tar, loads of it. We dump it in Houston and they refine it. We have manure stuff. We have the best and we have the most right under our feet. It's liquid gold, and we're going to use it, and we're going to reduce our deficit. We're going to reduce our debt, and we're going to reduce your taxes. We're going to do everything right, and it's going to happen. And as we reduce burdens on U.S. manufacturers, our workers can make goods better and cheaper right here in our own country, and right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We don't need lectures of the economy from a candidate pushing communist price controls. Kamala has no idea what the hell she's doing. Her father was a Marxist professor, and I believe he taught her well. You know, he's a Marxist professor. Can you imagine this? Anyone know that? I wonder if they knew that when they did an overthrow or a coup on Joe Biden. I wonder if they knew where she comes from, where she came from, what her ideology is. You can see it a little bit by this whack job. You know, he said, real weird. The JD, I think we're pretty like normal people. He's weird. Did you ever see him go on the stage? Going crazy and stuff. Between his movement and her own have this lot of craziness. I'd say a step further than weird. Weird is a nice word by comparison. When I'm president, when we do things right, and when I was president, we imposed historic tariffs and prices, and we did it all. We did it all. Prices didn't go up. Everybody said, oh, if you do that, prices. No, the country made less money. That's what happened. Gave us tremendous political leverage over those countries, too, for things having nothing to do with economics. They hurt China and America. That's why the Biden administration had no choice but to leave them. They say left them in place. They wanted to take them off. But so much money comes in from China and other places with the tariffs that Joe Biden, as much as he wanted to do, his friends have paid for. Couldn't do too much money. You couldn't justify. There was no way to justify it. In my next term, I will revoke China's most favored nation trade status. It's very unfair. And by the way, I have great respect for President Xi. I think China and the United States get along well together. Until COVID came in, that was a step too far. But I had a great relationship with President Xi. I had a great relationship with most of the leaders who passed the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act, so that if China or any other countries, not just China, the European Union treats us very badly. Nobody knows that very badly. We have a $250 billion deficit with the European Union. But if China or the European Union, if any other group of countries or country makes us pay a 100 or 200% tariff or tax, we will make them pay a reciprocal tariff or tax of the exact same amount. So it's basically, you heard us, we recommend use it on just compensate. We will ensure that we have 100% domestic American supply chains of all essential goods. Our supply chain has crashed. And you don't write about it now, but it's still crashed. And all you have to do is say, where's the package? It was supposed to be here 3 months ago. People aren't getting it anymore. It's very bad what's happened. They've destroyed our supply chain, which is something I didn't think could be done. COVID proved that if we need it in a crisis, then we must be able to make it in America. We want to rely on ourselves. We have no choice. This is really a matter of national security. We will bring back electronic production. We're going to bring up electronics to electronics. We buy everything away. When you see the sophistication of the product I just saw this place, electronics is peanuts by products. The pharmaceutical tubes outside of this country, 95%, we're reliant on various other countries. Good countries, nothing wrong, but we want to do it ourselves and make a tremendous amount of money. And we lose our jobs, and we want to do it ourselves. Mineral production, car production, We're going to bring back the auto industry. We can do that. We can do better than anybody in the world. We've stolen 59% of our car making business. The union, the United Auto Workers, I think the people in that union are going to vote for me overwhelmingly because I'm going to bring car industry back. They are destroying it. When they agree to all electric cars, they're not going to be made at this time. We will be making no cars in this time. And I was the one that South Africa got the tax put on and extended on the small trucks. And if I didn't have that tax, the most successful product made in this country is the small trucks. If I didn't get that tax, South Korea and China would be destroying us down with additional profit. Same thing. So I hope the auto workers are listening because they have a union boss that doesn't have to do it. He does have to go and say, I wish he did. I don't have to like him. I wish he did, but he doesn't have a clue what he's done with the auto business in allowing this to happen where all of those cars will be made in China, and it's going to happen greatly with the help of companies like this one. We will rebuild our defense industrial base, ensuring that America is never in a situation where we don't have tanks, missiles, the raw materials to fight and win a war. We have to have one. What would happen if we had a war? We won't. Maybe, but you will have World War III, I believe, without Navy. But we won't. What would happen if we did? And let's say it was China, but they give us all of our steel. So we'll have to call China for steel so we can fight a war with them. A stupid history boat. Upon taking office, I will invoke the Defense Production Act wherever it's necessary to very quickly ramp up capacity of essential products, and I will stop Japan from buying United States today. We have a foreign country that wants to purchase one of our greatest, we go back 70 years. Our greatest company by far was the United States Steel Corporation. That was the big deal. And now we have Japan buying it. They shouldn't be allowed to buy it. To make it work. We have to make it work. You don't want to start U.S. Steel. This is how we will rediscover the industrial heritage of our country. We will reclaim our manufacturing legacy. We will build a glorious American future fueled by Pennsylvania and Michigan. You know, you're one of the largest in this country. You're one of the largest producers of coal. She doesn't know. You're not that producer. You're going to go from being one of the largest producers in terms of fracking the energy produced into a non-factor. Your state's going to be third world, like much of our countries they play third world movies painted. They don't have a clue. But it's going to all be made with pride of the U.S. and with Pennsylvania pride, strengthened by strong, powerful Pennsylvania steel again. With your vote, we will destroy inflation, bring it down. We will be the most. Thank you very much. Thank you to Pennsylvania. And the reception coming here with the people outside waving, it was a beautiful sight. The love they have for what we're trying to do and what we will do. I just leave you with this. Vote on November 5th or sooner. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. We're going to turn our country around. We're going to make America great again. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. God bless Pennsylvania. God bless America.